We got some breaking New York Knicks news, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Thibodeau is gone. The New York Knicks officially part ways with the head coach of the New York Knicks after losing in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Indiana Pacers. Wow, this is big time. A lot of people wanted this to happen, and now it is official. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Thibodeau is no longer the head coach of the New York Knicks. We will be looking for a brand new head coach coming into the 2025-2026 season. Right away, I want to hear from Knicks fans in the chat your thoughts, because this is big time breaking news. Sound the alarms, folks, because I see a lot of change coming to this Knicks organization. A giant change coming. The Knicks had a chance to go out there and make it to the NBA Finals, and they failed. And they're not messing around, okay? There's a lot of coaching options that we're going to be talking about for these next few days, next few weeks. And I think the favorite right now is Mike Malone. And I mean, the stars kind of are aligning to Mike Malone. I know everyone wants to know who's the coach going to be. If I had an early prediction, it will be Mike Malone. But there's other guys out there besides him that I'm sure we're going to interview, okay? But wow, I know Johnny Bryant is a guy that a lot of Knicks fans want to bring back and give him the opportunity. Jay Wright, Mike Malone is probably the favorite right now. But man, Dan Hurley, woo! There's a lot of opportunities, folks. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is breaking news. It's fresh off the press. I was live on my NFL Daily Show on Roundtable Sports, and it broke, and I'm like, hey, I know this is a football show, but the Knicks just fired Tom Thibodeau, so I got to go, okay? I got to go and go live immediately on Knicks Media because this is crazy. Now, we're all, and it's crazy too, I made a video this morning that I'm not going to upload anymore because we talked about the potential of firing Tom Thibodeau. What would it look like if they kept him? And I'm like, okay, well, that video is going in the garbage, and here we are live talking about it because this is honestly, I didn't know what to believe if this was going to happen, right? I'll be straight up with you guys. Like, obviously, I knew it was a possibility, but you look at what Tom Thibodeau has done with this team. He brought the Knicks back to relevancy. I mean, let's keep it a buck. I thought there was a chance where Dolan will look at Tibbs and be like, hey, you brought us to back-to-back 50-win seasons. You brought the Knicks back to relevancy. I'll keep you here for continuity purposes. But no. Now, the Knicks feel like they are a championship team, and Tom Thibodeau, he's a good coach, but he's not good enough to win an NBA title, and I think that is obvious what we just learned here. This is big-time breaking news, folks. So if you're just coming on in, welcome to Knicks Media. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way into the show, guys. Would really appreciate it if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way in, man. Really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys tuning in because we got some breaking Knicks news, man. He's gone. And I feel like this is not the news we want. I feel like the news we would prefer to be talking about is getting ready for the NBA Finals. But hey, man, you got to live with what happened, man. You can't get too upset. But at the end of the day, the Knicks have decided to move on. And I feel like this is going to be an interesting situation. Now, this is how I look at it, right? This is how I look at it. Tom Thibodeau built the foundation, built the winning culture with this Knicks organization up, right? Let's not forget who the Knicks were before Tom Thibodeau came here. Okay? He came here to the Knicks and brought relevancy, brought competence, brought winning. And I thank Thibodeau for that. I'm not going to sit here and say, finally, get this guy out of here. He sucked. I really hope Knicks fans don't forget who this Knicks team was before he came. Okay? I'm not saying they made a mistake firing him at all. I think this is actually a good move to reset this franchise because I think Tom Thibodeau built this team up to where it's at, but I really think we saw the peak of what this Knicks team is. They got burnt out, and let's keep it a buck. He got outcoached by Rick Carlisle in Indiana. Completely outcoached. The guy, as much as, Thibodeau drives people crazy with his minutes, the starting five that worked all season, that got him to the point where they're at, he decides to change it in the Eastern Conference Finals, not because of an injury. That was really weird. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was weird. It looked like he was scrambling. That my days are numbered here. That's what it felt like. He felt like he knew his days were numbered. So really interesting stuff. And I think that you look at all the coaches that are available, there's a lot of interesting opportunities for this Knicks team to get better. And I think that what I was talking about before is Tom Thibodeau had an opportunity. He built this team to where it is today. And then now we can hire the coach that can take this team over the hump, right? We can hire that guy that finishes the job. And a really good comparison here is the Golden State Warriors. And the reason why I bring that up, and I'm sure some people know where I'm going with this right when I bring up the Warriors, right? And I want to bring up the exact years because I want to make sure I have the timeline. Because if you guys remember, you look at the Golden State Warriors, they had a really good basketball team, right? Under Mark Jackson. But they kind of didn't get over the hump. They fired Mark Jackson, and Mark Jackson was the guy to kind of bring them out of the mud, bring them out and build a foundation. And then they bring in Steve Kerr, and now look at the Warriors. Look what they've done, right? And Mark Jackson is very similar to Tom Thibodeau, just in terms of the old school mindset. And what the Golden State Warriors did is they had Mark Jackson for 2 years, from 2012 to 2014. They got rid of Jackson, and then Steve Kerr came into that team and leveled them up. Jackson built the foundation, and then Steve Kerr came, and they exploded into the Golden State Warriors dynasty that we watched. So I'm not saying that's guaranteed it's going to happen, but the Knicks now are going to be looking for their version of Steve Kerr. Who that is it Mike Malone? Right? There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options for the Knicks. Mike Brown, Jay Wright. There's a lot of guys. So everybody in the chat right now, let me know, who do you want the New York Knicks to bring on in as the next head coach? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the like button, folks, because we're in off-season mode, and this channel is going to be as active as it's ever been throughout this off-season. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know in the chat right now, who do you want this Knicks team to go out there and bring in? Okay, I'm going to make a poll right now. Who do you want? Who do you want the Knicks to hire? All right. First option is going to be Mike Malone. Second one will be Jay Wright, Dan Hurley. I can only put 4 options, so I'm trying to. Who should I put as the options? Dan Hurley, Mike Malone, Jay Wright, and Johnny Bryant. I'm curious because I know right now there's a lot of Knicks fans that have differing opinions about this. And I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts, all right, of who you want the Knicks to bring in. Okay? So now make your presence be felt, folks. Vote in the chat. Vote in the chat right now, because you can argue all of these guys. Jay Wright would be, that would be crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That would be crazy. I'm not going to lie. We got a super chat from LaSalle. Appreciate you, man. $5 super chat from Awesome LA. I would say it's like MJ Bulls firing Colin for Phil Jackson. Oh. Hey, I mean, I'll take that analogy, LaSalle. Appreciate that super chat, my friend. Big time shout out to you. Big time shout out to you. Guys, make sure you vote in the poll. I'm curious what Knicks fans think should happen right now. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. We're live on Knicks Media for this breaking NFL news, because this is a wild situation right now that the Knicks went out there and made a decision. Dolan. And let me just also break this down. We found out that the latest report that we heard is that Leon Rose, Jalen Brunson, the front office and the players, they have the trust and the belief and the endorsement of Tom Thibodeau right? But it was going to be up to Dolan. That's what we knew. It was going to be up to Jim Dolan. And he made his decision, bro. He made his decision. Okay? This is a Dolan decision. And I trust Leon Rose to find the next guy. I absolutely do. LaSalle with a $5 super chat. Another one. Thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Everybody give LaSalle some dono hype. Are for certain that Knicks have a chance at Giannis? Because I don't think you do. I think the Knicks do have an opportunity for Giannis. And the reason I say that is because we have players that can match the salary. Do we have the draft capital like we did? No, we don't. We gave, the Brooklyn Nets 5 first-round picks and all that. But I think that it would cost a lot. You have to give up Cat. Maybe you'd have to give up one of Mikal Bridges or OG in a 3-team trade. Maybe you have to give up a Deuce or a Kolek or a younger guy. I don't know. The NBA has proven that anything is possible, bro. Especially with Leon Rose. If there's one thing I know about Leon Rose, bro, is that this guy will do stuff that nobody expects. Who saw the Knicks trading for Cat last year right before training camp? Nobody. Who saw the Knicks trading for Bridges? I mean, last year, do you guys remember the mindset of the Knicks fan base last year? Run it back, re-sign Hartenstein, and run it back with the same team. But Leon Rose like, nah, I'm making big adjustments. Trading for Mikal Bridges, and I'm trading for Cat, trading away Randall, trading away Dante. So Leon Rose loves shaking up the team. And I think that now he's going to evaluate exactly what worked, what didn't work, and find the right pieces to the puzzle that's going to work for this team long term. Because I don't want to get a little pessimistic here, but the Knicks, they have a window. And we don't want to let this window go to waste. Jalen Brunson taking that massive contract extension gave the Knicks a legit window. And we don't want this window to all of a sudden disappear. Okay? And I think it's going to be up to the Knicks front office to make sure that this window stays. Right? I want to give you guys a present on behalf of Knicks Media. I want to give away 5 Knicks Media memberships. So congratulations to the 5 people in the chat. Isaac, Peter, Who Dat, Idaho Jets, and DNY for life. Congratulations. You just got Knicks Media memberships. Big shout out to the members in the chat. Really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate you guys big time in the chat. Make sure you guys use the emojis, all right? At the end of the day, you look at what this Knicks team is about with Tom Thibodeau, throw that out the window. Throw it out the window because a new identity is coming here. A new system is coming. And I think the stubbornness of Tom Thibodeau is what caught up to him. The stubbornness of Tom Thibodeau to not adjust to the NFL of today's world caught up to him. Because the base of a Tom Thibodeau team is defense, bro. And they couldn't get a stop against the Pacers in Game 6 on the road. They looked great in Game 5 defensively, but then right when the Pacers made their adjustments, it was just not even comparable. So I'm excited about where this team is headed and what coach we're going to bring in. And people can predict what Leon Rose is going to do, but I'm telling you right now, we have no idea. We have no idea what Leon Rose is going to be doing, man. That's how I look at it. And you look at the the NBA landscape right now. I mean, there's a lot of people shocked with this news. And I felt like if this was going to happen, it was going to happen quicker than we thought. So let's read what Sham says. Breaking, the New York Knicks are relieving Tom Thibodeau of his duties as head coach. Sources tell ESPN. Thibodeau led the Knicks to their first East Finals in 25 years, made playoffs in 4 to 5 years. And you know what else is interesting? The Knicks extended Thibodeau before the season. So they're paying him now to not coach. Now, that doesn't really matter if you're a billionaire like Dolan, but they gave him a contract extension right before the season. So that's another thing to note. LaSalle with another super chat. Thank you, my friend. I think the Bucks are looking for teams with draft capital to start the rebuild, and with Spurs look liking to get him, I think they beat you. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying the Knicks are guaranteed to land Giannis, but I'm not going to say it's impossible for them to pull it off. I wouldn't say the Knicks are the favorites to land Giannis. I'm curious, are there odds out there for the Giannis? Like, who are the favorites to land him? Right? I think there's a lot of opportunities around the teams. But, yeah, it would be interesting. Spurs landing him would be interesting. Wow, that was crazy. This is crazy stuff. Welcome to the offseason, folks. Now I can just know that there's going to be crazy stuff going on internally, bro. How do you think Jalen Brunson feels? That's another thing I want to ask you guys. If Jalen Brunson is all in, what are your guys' thoughts of Jalen Brunson? And also, dare I say, was this a mistake? Could this have been a mistake if we look back on it? Shout out to Sharon McLean for becoming a Knicks Media member. Thank you so much for joining the membership program. Much love to you. Is there a world where we look back and say this was a mistake? Because I'll tell you right now, the Knicks, if they regress, like whatever coach is coming in, there's a lot of pressure on that coach. There's a lot of pressure on the next head coach of this basketball team. Because if they do not make a playoff run, if they get bounced in the first round, if they lose in the second round, that's a regression. Now we're expecting this brand new head coach to come in and change everything immediately. And I can also tell you this. I guarantee that the Knicks already know who their next head coach is. Okay? Because there's no way they fired him without knowing who's going to replace him. That's another thing. They're not going to be like, yeah, we're going to fire him and then go through a deep search. No, they know exactly who it's going to be. It's probably going to be Mike Malone or something like that. Now, look at the poll in the chat. We got 40% of you guys said Mike Malone, 29% Johnny Bryant, 18% Jay Wright, 13% Dan Hurley. I think Mike Malone is going to be the guy if I had to predict right now. But I'm not going to sit here and say and act like, yeah, we just the franchise is saved just yet. I mean, we gotta wait and see to see who we bring in and all that, because it's different, right? Like, for example, I'm a New York Jets fan. As you guys know, I'm a Jets content creator. Firing Robert Saleh was so easy. He sucked. Right? And if you're a Giants fan, all the coaches that you guys have been firing, same thing. They sucked. Thibodeau, he didn't suck. Right? He didn't suck. He was good. But the Knicks are making this move and saying he's not good enough. That's a bold statement. That's the difference. That he's not good enough. And I think this is his last chance. I don't see another NBA team hiring Tibbs. I'd be shocked. Definitely not this season, but maybe in a year or two. I don't know. I think his era of basketball is depleting. I don't know. I wonder if they know. I wonder if this regime already knows, man. 100%. This is crazy stuff. Bondi reported it was Rose's decision supported by Dolan. Is that true? Yeah, let's go check out X and see the latest on this. Yeah, so here is the Bondi report. Steph Bondi saying, breaking, Tom Thibodeau has been relieved of his duties, okay, as the Knicks head coach. Team felt it is in his best interest of getting to next level of winning a championship. Decision was Leon Rose's, per league source, with owner's support. So this was the Leon Rose decision. So we saw some conflicting reports. I mean, a few days ago, we found out that Leon Rose supports Tibbs. Okay, now we know that's not true. Leon Rose is not messing around, bro. If there's one thing I know about Leon Rose, he is going to do anything in his power to bring this team to relevancy, bro. Not just relevancy, but championship. He wants a ring. He understands what's at stake, and I respect that. And I bet you there's some candidates out there that some people haven't even thought about that we have to consider. Right? I mean, this is some big time stuff here. This is some big time stuff. Tibbs had a long time with this basketball team, and it felt like he squeezed every little piece of potential out of this basketball team. That's what he did. That's what he did. Isaac just gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Isaac. I appreciate that. Congrats to Classic Pablo for receiving a membership. Now, I want to hear from Knicks fans. I really do. So I'm going to open this up for a call-in segment because this is a monumental moment in Knicks history right now. So if you guys want to come on in and talk and share your thoughts about the Tom Thibodeau news, feel free to click the link that's pinned in the chat right now. And I'm going to open this up for some callers and, be respectful, of course. And I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say because I think Knicks fans right now are in a stage of, okay, now what? Where are we going? This was a Leon Rose decision backed by ownership. So I don't want people to now run to the conclusion that Dolan is running the show all over again. So I don't know, man. This is some breaking stuff. Breaking news, Knicks fans. How does this make you feel? How does this make you feel, man? Tom Thibodeau is gone. I didn't know if I should expect it or not. I really didn't know. A lot of people were asking me, Richie, do you think Tibbs is gone? Richie, is Tibbs going? I'm like, I really don't know. Like, there's a part of me that thinks, okay, the continuity, all that stuff. But there's another part of me that they want change, man. Is that they want change. All right? That's what it's all about. And I think that you look at this Knicks organization and what they've been able to accomplish the last few years. James with the super chat reminds me of when Golden State dropped Jackson for Kerr. James, I literally said this exact thing at the beginning of this show. Thank you for the $2 super chat, James. Appreciate you, man. I said this exact thing right here. Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. You win, James. Yes. The Golden State Warriors was built up by Mark Jackson. They fired him. They brought in Steve Kerr, and then Steve Kerr took that organization to become a dynasty. Now, I'm not saying the Knicks are about to be a dynasty, but Mark Jackson, Tom Thibodeau, same type of philosophy, same type of coach. The Knicks got to transition to more of a modern style of basketball. That's something the Knicks need. Change. Evolution. Seems like majority of you guys want Mike Malone. 41, over 40% of you guys want Mike Malone. And if you're just tuning into the show, don't forget to vote in the poll because you guys can get an opportunity to let your voice be heard of who you want this Knicks team to go after in the poll. So vote, vote, vote. Vote, vote, vote. Who do you want this Knicks team to go after as their next head coach? And apparently there's a lot of reports saying that Mike Malone is not even on the Knicks' radar, which I find interesting. So we don't know where this Knicks team is going, man. I don't know. I feel like we have to be open-minded to a lot of opportunities because you never know. I'm looking at X right now, seeing the latest news. And it's really interesting to see the reaction to everybody. I think there's a coach out there that no one really sees coming. That's how I'm looking at it too. This is big. This is huge, bro. Johnny Bryant. Can you imagine if it's Johnny Bryant? Big fan of Johnny Bryant. Do you guys really think he's ready to take this team to a championship, though? If it's Johnny Bryant, when I heard Johnny Bryant left us for Cleveland, my heart broke last year. If it's Johnny Bryant, then, okay, we are really trending in a new direction. Johnny Bryant has never been a head coach in this league yet. I don't know. Could he be the next Steve Kerr, given an opportunity and becomes the Knicks head coach forever? I don't know. There's a lot of interesting debates going on amongst Knicks fans right now about all this. I think there's a lot of different things to talk about. And I want to remind you about what Jalen Brunson had to say about Tom Thibodeau just a few days ago. Because I don't know about you guys, but is this something that you're concerned about? Take a listen.
You talk about the confidence, obviously. I feel like nobody takes more criticism than Tom. And this team obviously has turned around during his tenure. Do you kind of feel that going forward, he's the same guy to lift you guys the rest of the way, that next level?
Is that a real question right now? You just asked me if I believe that if he's the right guy. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Come on.
So, I mean, that seemed pretty emotional. I don't know how Brunson feels. He's the captain of this team. The Knicks need to make sure that he's okay with whoever they bring in. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not going to read too much into it. I'm not too concerned, but I definitely wanted to bring that to light because this is honestly some crazy stuff. This is crazy stuff right now. This is. And let's also keep it a buck. He got outcoached by Rick Carlisle. That's a legit thing. That's a legit thing that happened. He got outcoached by him. Outcoached. All right, let's bring in some callers. What's up, man? Welcome to the show, bro. You're live. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
OE?
Yeah, what's good, man?
Oh man, what's up, man? I've been watching you for a while now. Your channel is phenomenal.
Thank you, man.
I mean? I always go to your channel when I want to watch when I want to know the news about the Knicks, and now hearing about Tim Thibodeau. Sorry, I pronounced his name wrong, but I'm hearing about the coach. I'm just at awe about the situation, just because, we're seeing in the NBA where, a lot of these NBA players, they're getting paid a lot of money. A lot of these coaches are getting paid a lot of money. And not only that, but when is it the last time where a coach can go to the Eastern Conference Finals and be very successful, right? But then get fired. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not only that, but the Knicks are making huge moves. We made a huge move with Thibodeau. We made a huge move with that one, bringing him back. And now a lot of people want him traded, which to me, it's crazy because, look, I understand the Luka trade, but to have a guy like that in the big bodega in New York, in the New York area, that's a big plus for us, especially, as an assistant to, Brunson. We have to build off of what we, the roster that we had last year, right? And yeah, firing the coach might bring us to the championship, but it might not. We have to make the educated decisions as a company to move forward. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the right move for the Knicks, but if I had to, put a 1 to 10 type of rating on this, I'm going to give it a solid 7, just because it's moving to the right direction of change. And I honestly think that's what the that's what the Knicks and New York want, is change. We're tired of competing and, being, held to this point where we're like, oh, okay, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Round of applause, Knicks. We're tired of that. We want success, and success right now, the window is closing. And we understand that as fans. So we want to definitely go into the Eastern Conference Finals and win against whoever it is. We want a
Absolutely.
championship, and that's what it is, guys. Thank you for taking my call, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
you. Everybody like and subscribe this channel. This channel is phenomenal. Thank you so much, man. Bless.
Bro, that was awesome. Thank you so much, man. Much love to you. Shout out. That was awesome. Appreciating coming on, showing love to the channel. You know, that was awesome. He's got the passion. He's got the fire. He's got the knowledge. He's got everything you need right there. And I agree with everything he said, like literally everything he said. So shout out to my man, Oemma TV. I think I'm saying that right. OEMMA TV. All right. We appreciate that call from my guy. Big time shout out to him. You guys let me know your thoughts, because I think that a lot of Knicks fans have some, like, I think there's a shock element that comes to you first when you saw this news. Like, oh, wow, they did it. Right? There's a difference of saying it like, yeah, fire Tibbs. But then when it happens, you're just like, oh, wait, they did it, you know? And I've been very consistent in whenever people talk to me about firing Thibodeau. I mean, I've heard people wanted to fire Tibbs since he was hired. I mean, it's been a long time coming. So I know some Knicks fans are very, very fired up about this. All right. What happens to Rick Brunson? Interesting. I mean, Jalen Brunson is not going anywhere, so I don't think he's going anywhere. But if you bring in a new head coach, that means there's going to be a new coaching staff. So that is definitely an interesting question. But I'm sure he's going to stay, if I had to guess. I mean, he's going to be on this Knicks team as long as Mr. Jalen Brunson's on this team. So you never know, man. You never know. I think that the Knicks actually have a real chance here to hire the right guy for the job and bring on a new man in charge that's going to bring this Knicks team to new heights. And you guys can agree or disagree with that. And I don't know who they're going to get. I think Mike Malone is the favorite right now, but as of right now, there's still a lot of opportunities. All right? Still a lot of opportunities, man. Man, that's crazy. Tom Thibodeau's gone. Woo! Tom Thibodeau's gone. Folks, if you're just tuning into the show, don't forget to like the show and hit that subscribe button on your way into Knicks Media. We're live on Knicks Media. We're going to be doing some Knicks shows all throughout the offseason, leading into the next season. You got Summer League coming up, free agency, all that fun stuff right here will be covered on Knicks Media. Very interesting question from Nick Yak. What happens to Hart? His minutes definitely goes down. Oh, the minutes of this entire team is going down. Okay? The minutes are now going down. Okay? So that is definitely something to keep in mind. And definitely something to keep in mind. The minutes police. The minutes police. All right. Bring back Rick Pinto. I mean, you imagine that? He's happy. He's happy right now. I don't think he's going anywhere. Game 6, Cat's effort is acceptable defensively. No, not a fan of that. Not a fan of what Cat had to do. Hart can't start again. I think this is also, and hear me out, folks, this is the beginning of a lot of changes coming. Which is wild. Like personnel change. This is the first monumental change. And I think there is an element of continuity that we all wanted, but I think there's going to be a big change. Like there's going to be another trade that happens. A big trade that happens, man. And I also don't want this team to become like that organization that just changes everything every year. Like I want an element of continuity. Like I like the core of Brunson and OG. And I mean, I know Cat now, it's like people are questioning Karl Anthony Towns. Is this the guy that we want? Is Karl Anthony Towns the guy that we want to pay $50 million a year? Is that really the guy that we want? So interesting stuff. Let's get into another caller. We got Justin up next. What up, Justin?
Hey,
how you doing, man? Good to meet you. Boston Celtics fan calling in, huh?
I know you said you weren't Knicks fans, but I wanted to give my opinion on this as an NBA fan as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Come on in, Justin.
So, as you know, I'm not a Knicks fan, but I do respect the channel, and I do respect the Knicks fans. So,
guys, this is the most respectful Celtics fan I ever met in my life, by the way. Just so you guys know, he comes in peace.
Yeah, please don't hurt me. I'm shocked. Okay, I'm really shocked because I have a friend on Facebook that is a real big time Knicks fan, and when I told him that Tom Thibodeau was fired, he was like, "There's absolutely no way that they just fired this guy 2 wins away from the NBA Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then they do. I don't know about you. I think Mike Malone is the best guy that can be on your radar. I mean, I know he's not on the radar, but if he comes in, like I was very skeptical of this Cat trade when you guys first made it in the offseason, because I know you guys wanted to compete with the Boston Celtics, and you guys did that by finally beating them in the playoffs to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But now with Tibbs gone, what does that say about Cat? Like,
yeah, I think that's a good question, because Karl Anthony Towns, and thank you for the call, Justin. I appreciate you and all the kind words you always send in the super chats from a Boston Celtics fan. So first and foremost, I appreciate the call and appreciate you, my man. All right.
Yeah, no worries. You no worries. You know I got you no matter what.
Yeah, much love. Justin, the most respectful Celtics fan on the internet. I'm telling you guys that right now. But he brings up a good point about Cat. And, you know, it's interesting because he said his friend is a Knicks fan, was shocked to hear the news. Like, there's a lot of shock right now within the organization. And I'm really, really curious to hear your guys' thoughts, because, like, I kind of want to pull the chat of, are you happy with this or not? So everybody's just say yes or no in the chat. Are you happy with this move or not? Because I think there's some mixed emotions going on amongst Knicks fans, because this is it's just shocking. Even though, like, there's an element of shock, but also an element of, like, yeah, I saw that coming. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different elements here. A lot of different elements here. So we'll see. So are you guys happy or not with this move? We got no, yes. All right, we're going to end the poll and make a new one. All right. So the poll, you see the results. Everybody pretty much wanted Mike Malone. All right. Do you agree with the move of firing Tibbs? All right. New polls live in the chat. You guys let me know, or do you agree with the move of firing Tibbs? Yes or no? Because I think there's a lot of fans in this chat right now that has differing opinions. A lot of Knicks fans across the world that has differing opinions. So interesting. Very, very interesting stuff right now. And I did not expect this breaking news to come at the point that it did. I'll be honest with you guys. So you guys, please make your presence be known in the live chat right now. Vote. Do you agree or disagree with it? I'm going to assume majority is going to say yes, but there is some people that don't agree with it. Because this is the part of me that says, hey, whatever coach that comes in, the expectations are through the roof. If this coach comes in and, like, doesn't, I mean, first of all, making the playoffs is a bare minimum at this point of the Knicks. Making the playoffs is never a worry in our minds as Knicks fans anymore, which, by the way, is great. Remember when we were, like, starving for the playoffs? Now we're in the playoffs every year. But now it's like, no, we don't just need to make the playoffs. You need to make a playoff run. Go deep into the playoffs. Win the first round. We finally won the second round for the first time in 25 years. So that part of me is like, okay. I mean, this next head coach that's coming in is going to be, woo! You talk about expectations. That's going to be wild. Damn. That's crazy stuff. So the poll is live, and it's more split than I thought it would be. 56% says yes. 46. Wow. So it definitely seems like there is more split on this decision than others. I mean, let's be honest, Knicks fans. We all wanted to be getting ready for the NBA Finals right now. Not talk about this, but you got to live with what it is and can't complain, man. You can't complain. So got to surrender to the moment. That's what I've learned as a Knicks fan, right? Crazy stuff. Whoever disagrees with this move are maniacs, just like Thibodeau. That's hilarious. It wasn't Dolan's call. Yeah, this was Leon Rose. Leon Rose made the decision, and it was backed by ownership. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. This was a Leon Rose decision that was backed by ownership. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And this is a monumental shift in the timeline of the Knicks organization because Leon Rose hired Tom Thibodeau. And it was his decision to move on. Let's not forget. This was Leon Rose's decision, folks. So let's not twist it. As you can see on your screen here, this was Stephen Bondi. Decision was Leon Rose's per league source with the owner's support. That's important to note. Very important to note. So I think that if you're a Knicks fan, you want to look at the optimistic side of this. This could be our version of the Golden State Warriors, right? Where the Knicks can be looked at as Thibodeau built up this team to where it is now. And then we get the coach that could bring them to the next level. That's what I'm hoping for. If we don't make the Eastern Conference Finals with a new coach, people will want him out too. Exactly. That's where I'm like, man, there's big shoes to fill for this next head coach, bro. Whatever the coach is, there are gigantic shoes to fill. So Keyshawn is 100% right. Knowing this Knicks fan base, they're going to want him fired right away if we don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again. And it's going to be a new year where hopefully the injury and a big thing that I keep coming back to, and it's just so, you know how lucky the Knicks are that they had no injuries this year? That is fantastic. We had no injuries. And we couldn't use that to our advantage. And let's hope that we have no injuries again. I mean, we had injuries during the regular season, but when it came to the playoffs, we were fully healthy throughout the entire season. Not one player missed a game. Throughout the entire playoff run, not one player missed a game. Whatever this new head coach does, please bring back that training staff. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, the no injuries thing and not being able to take advantage of it definitely infuriates me because I think part of being an NBA champion comes with a little bit of luck. There has to be some luck on your side with the injuries. And we had that luck on our side this year. And the reason why that's such a big deal is 2 years ago, the excuse was injuries. OG Anunoby in the second round hurting his hamstring. Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle. We didn't know the full potential of the team. So we were left wondering, what's this team capable of, or yada, yada, yada. So now that it's not the case, but it's all good. We'll be healthy next year again, I believe. We will be healthy again. Let's hear from Ben Stiller. I am a Tom Thibodeau fan. He brought this team back. I felt he gave every bit of himself and was always looking to improve. I will always be grateful for how far he brought the Knicks. They are relevant again. They are championship contenders again. The Knicks became winners again with him. Thank you, Coach Tibbs. Could not agree more with him. I am a fan of Tibbs, and I appreciate what he's done. I'm not one of those guys that's like, yep, thank you, goodbye, get out of here. I'm very thankful for what Thibodeau brought to this organization because it was very needed. It was very needed. So I'm excited about the change, but I'm also going to say, hey, thank you, Coach Tibbs. Thank you for everything that you've done. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it, man. You guys let me know who you want this Knicks team to get in the chat right now. Big time shout out to everybody tuning in. This is great, crazy news, honestly. Crazy news that this came out at this point. Woo! Leon Rose making the call. I'm telling you right now, there's no way Leon Rose does not know who he's bringing in. I would be shocked. Right? We'll see. But we got a long offseason to go to figure it out. I'm going to wrap up the show here, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in to this breaking news segment of Knicks Media of the Knicks firing head coach Tom Thibodeau. This was definitely a very interesting move, and we got a lot all week long, and I'm sure the Knicks are not going to rush to hire the next guy, but make sure you guys subscribe on your way out if you didn't already. I'll be making content throughout the entire offseason, so make sure you guys hit that notification bell. All the support that you guys show on this channel means more than you know to me. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, as always. Big time shout out to OE in the chat saying, thank you, great show as always. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat for tuning in to the Knicks Media Live. Breaking news. We're going to be live on Bleacher Report in an hour and 15 minutes. So make sure you guys go check me out over there to break down this more in detail. So I'll see you guys then. Peace out, and let's go Knicks.